form of schools, books, and here clinics and education. And so we're doing all of that. So you talk about 80 fish ponds, 15 hectares of grain, irrigatable land, 1 truck, 1 warehouse, HIV/AIDS clinics and education, education for schools, for books, for uniforms and all that kind of stuff, food security, crop science, and we've literally revolutionized an entire area just by doing 30-hour famine. You see, before we ever started this partnership with World Vision, there were only 233 churches that did 30-hour famine in the Church of the Nazarene. Already, right now, we have 683 signed up, have done it, or are going to do it. And our goal is 1,000. That all started at NYC, right here, right there, 30-hour famine. And it was amazing at 30-hour famine because, at NYC, because we also did, we also did child sponsorship. Now check this out. Before NYC, there were only 9,600 children sponsored in the Church of the Nazarene for child sponsorship, which takes care of books, uniforms, education, 1 hot meal a day. It takes care of women's issues in the home, different things in terms of family management, all kinds of stuff for the community, right? And so at NYC, we sponsored on one day 1,600 children. That's like a 20% increase, I think. Terrible with math. That's like a 20% increase in the number of children that have been sponsored, all just in one morning at NYC. All right. Now you might say, well, kids probably just, they just threw the money away because they just sponsored for like 1 or 2 weeks. No, check this out. In NYC 2003, 211 kids sponsored a kid just in the exhibit hall. It wasn't a part of the main room, it was just a part of the exhibit hall, okay? As of 2007, there were already 199 still sponsored. That is amazing, because if you look at these 1,600, can you imagine if in four years, what if that many people, that percentage, were still sponsoring kids? But wait, there's more. Just imagine if we're taking NYC and 30-hour famine and child sponsorship, and we're heading to fuel. Fuel is like taking NYC further. It's like taking the impact of feeding 5,000 into 10,000, 28 schools, 2 homes, 1 community center, all built and renovated, about sponsoring 1,600 children, about signing up for 30-hour famine. Where's that? Is it back here? 30-hour famine and trying to get 1,000 people for 30-hour famine. It really all comes together at fuel. It's so important because we ended fuel caring about other people.
NYC.
NYC? What did I say?
Fuel.
Oh, at NYC. NYC, we ended up caring for other people. But NYC takes us to fuel. We ended up caring about people, and we're going to begin fuel with caring about people, because we're going to bring Zach Hunter. Now, we have other speakers, but Zach Hunter's a 16-year-old kid that's written 2 books and that is passionately involved in human slavery around the world. Zach is an eloquent speaker for his generation about taking change, about taking our love, about taking our care global, is to take the global concerns and moving them in locally to really make a difference. That's what 30-hour famine does. It takes my care for the people in Malawi locally, because I do service projects at home. I raise money and I help people at home, and I do all kinds of things at senior adult residences, or I help with little children or with the homeless, or I do a lot of different things to 30-hour famine. And what that does is that ties me right back to NYC, where we ended up with so many amazing things. And then it takes us all the way to fuel. Now, when fuel happens, if we can just get to the place with Zach and with the rest of fuel, and there's more speakers than just Zach, but we're going to start with Zach and then go from there, where we focus on discipleship and heart holiness and what it really means. What it really means to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. To really love God and to love other people. the way God loves other people. So we're going to take them and we're going to start talking about child sponsorship. And we're going to finish the 1600 to see, can we actually make it to 2,000 kids sponsored from NYC to Fuel in 1 year. We're going to see if we can actually raise $1.5 million to sponsor 3 years of an area development plan in North Malawi. Because if we do it there, we can move on to other world areas and combine World Vision and NCM ministries and actually see kingdom start to work. That's amazing. It just takes our vision so much further. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing that's so cool. Not only do we have Zach Hunter, but we have the Malawi kids, the kids we took to Malawi. They shared all of our regional events, right? And they're going to talk about 30-hour and child sponsorship. But here's what's cool. Can you imagine if your youth group got to go to Malawi to experience what they did? You saw them on the main stage of NYC if you were there, where they just broke down and cried. Their heart was so touched by what they saw in Malawi and how the people of Malawi touched their heart. Just imagine if they could go and see the results of what we've done and where we've improved and where we're going. And what if then they were a part of our vision for the next world area? It could be Thailand. It could be anywhere. But God is doing something great and something amazing. You got to understand how you get to Malawi if you're one of those people doing 30-hour famine. Raise the most money of anybody in USA and Canada. We'll take the 5 largest churches, youth pastor, and 1 kid, and we'll take them to Malawi for them to see what God has done. So that's what it means. That's what NYC means. That's what Fuel means. That's what it means to be in 30-hour famine and child sponsorship. And that's what it means to go to Fuel.